If you follow the channel, you know that my favorite way to protect a home is with a wired NVR security camera system. I find it to be the most proactive way to protect your family and your stuff. When it comes to those systems, you also know that my favorite brand is Alibi Security. There are several different reasons for that. I'm going to touch on that a little bit more later in this video. But today we're talking about a new camera from Alibi Security, just loaded with features, very well made, and I'm excited to talk about it. Let's get to it. What up, everybody? George Langevere here. Wired NVR security camera systems. I own SilverHammer Surveillance. We've been in business since 2008, and I've been installing these systems for years and years and years, thousands of them. And my go-to way to protect the home is always these wired systems. And I'm talking about a camera wired to an NVR in your home somewhere, and it just gives you that nice, stable, reliable connection because you're not relying on your Wi-Fi. You don't have a monthly fee because you've got a hard drive built into these NVRs. You own it all. You're not paying somebody for something you can just do yourself. And I love that. Just gives you all that stability. Well, my go-to brand, as I've said before, is Alibi Security. Now, I've done videos on them before. You've seen me do a video on what's called Illuminite Night Vision. You've seen me do their Active Deterrent Cameras, which is strobes and sirens on a camera. You see me with their new technology called Intellisearch, where not only can you search just by people and vehicles, but you can also search by the color of a vehicle and the color of a person's clothing. Well, today I'm talking about a camera that combines all of those. If you ever called me for an Alibi system, you know that I've always talked about 3 different systems with those 3 different technologies. Well, now it's exciting to say in 2024, we've got a camera that combines all the above. Now, just real quick, these are professional grade, dealer grade cameras. Alibi offers products for all levels of budget. And so you go online, you'll find some of their cheaper stuff and their entry level stuff. This is different. This is dealer grade stuff. It means it has better housing, industrial grade housings, which is metal instead of plastic. It has better analytics. There's just a lot more to it with these dealer grade cameras. So when I talk about this, just know you're not going to find much about it online. You need to call a dealer, which is me. So if you look in the description of this video, you can call me and we can discuss if you're interested in this camera. But I'm going to unbox it. I'm going to talk about the price and specs. I'm going to talk about the Alibi Vigilant mobile app, which is how you can see these cameras on a phone or tablet. And I'm also going to tell you a little bit more about why I always go back to Alibi. I got brands stalking me all the time being on YouTube. But man, Alibi's been my go-to for a long time, and I'm going to talk about that. So let's get to it with the unboxing. All right, now that we've unboxed, let's talk price and specs. Now, these cameras are meant to be used with an Alibi NVR. Again, this is a wired NVR system. Now, in theory, these cameras could be standalone IP cameras where you just use them on your own, but you're going to get the most bang for your buck if you connect them to an Alibi NVR. Now, as far as price goes, these cameras come in two different configurations. You've got 5 megapixel, which equates to 3K resolution, or you've got 8 megapixel, which is 4K resolution. Now, the 3K model is $319.99, at least as the time of the filming of this video. And the 4K model, which is 8 megapixel, is $379.99. Again, these prices are as of the filming of this video. Now, the NVR, you can get an 8 channel, a 16 channel, a 32 channel, a 64 channel. Now, for most houses, you're somewhere between 4 to 8 cameras. So typically you want that 8 camera NVR. Now, the price is going to depend on the configuration, whether you go 8, 16, 32, 64, and then how much hard drive you get in that NVR, because you can go anywhere from 1 terabyte up to 20 terabytes. So it depends on the configuration, but on average, that NVR is going to be about $750. And if you're interested in any of this, just call me. My info is in the description of this video. I'll be happy to discuss and price out a full system for you. And the 5 megapixel and the 8 megapixel, you can mix and match. All right, so that's price. Let's talk some specs. First up, we've got the Intellisearch technology. Now that means that not only can you search by people and vehicles, but when you're searching, let's say somebody broke into your house yesterday and they had a red car and a blue sweatshirt, you can actually search just by color, both vehicles and a person's clothing, and it's actually down upper garment and lower garment. You can really narrow it down that much. And that's so cool because it just eliminates so many different false alarms, and you're not looking for stuff you don't need to look for because you can just narrow it down because you know the color of that vehicle and you know the color of the person's clothing. So it's a really cool feature. Now, before I did a video on that where you just had one particular camera you could buy for that technology, but now this camera combines all of the above. Next up, we got auto scene adjustment, which is intelligent wide dynamic range, and that really helps you in different lighting situations. So whether it's foggy or it's sunny and that type of thing, this has got that auto scene adjustment, which is awesome. We've got Smart Sense technology, which uses AI deep learning to detect things like people, vehicles. You can do all motion if you want. You can do intrusion areas. You can do line crossing. Let's say you draw an imaginary line across your driveway. You can be alerted anytime somebody passes that line. You've got object removal. But Smart Sense technology really helps you focus on exactly what you want to record and be alerted for, so you eliminate all those false alarms. All right, then we've got color night vision, and there's 2 layers to color night vision of this camera. You've got a Starlight chipset, which uses full frame illumination to give you 98 feet of color night vision. And then you can take that up a notch using Illuminite technology, which takes that night vision even further, and also 98 feet. But you can really tell the difference when you kick that Illuminite on. It uses 2 white lights on the camera. But either way, you're good to go. But man, there's no better night vision than this camera we're talking about today. We've got superior outdoor performance with an IP67 weather rating, meaning that it's rated negative 22 degrees all the way up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. And if it was like that every day. So we could put these cameras in Alaska with no problem. These cameras are very good for outdoor durability. Speaking of outdoor durability, because these are professional grade cameras and the dealer level stuff, we've got that good professional grade housing, which makes these cameras very durable and very vandal proof. We've got 3D digital noise reduction, which helps filter the noise and gives you a nice, crisp, clear image. We've also got H.265 compression, which reduces your bandwidth and storage requirements, so you get more bang for your buck out of your hard drive, and it just is less taxing on the NVR itself. We've also got 2-way audio, so a built-in mic and a built-in speaker, and unlike a lot of the cameras I talk about, this is good 2-way audio. This is professional grade. This is the good stuff. To go along with that 2-way audio, we also have support for blue and red flashing lights, which can be an active deterrent. Before, you had to buy a different camera to get their active deterrents. And active deterrents is just a way to scare an intruder in your yard.
The alert area. Please leave. You are in the alert area. Please leave. You are in the alert area. Please leave.
And now it's nice because all these features are combined into this camera, like I said. This camera is also NDAA compliant, meaning it's compliant with the US government. There's camera manufacturers out there that are not NDAA compliant, and they have a relationship with certain countries that the US government frowns upon. Well, this one doesn't have that problem, which is great for not only the business market, but the residential market as well. All right, before we move on from price and specs, let's talk about this actual camera itself. I showed it to you in the unboxing and some of my B-roll, but here it is. Now again, Alibi offers all sorts of different products. Some of them you'll find online, which is the cheaper plastic stuff. This is the professional grade dealer stuff that you have to go through somebody like myself to get. It's just a nice metal housing, just a solid, solid camera. But yeah, so you've got your Illuminite Night Vision here. You've got a 107-degree field of view with this lens. You've got your speakers for your two-way audio. You've got your different connectors, but you're really just worried about the Cat 5e connector here or Cat 6 connector, and then power if you need it. But one cable from this part right here to your NVR, and that's all you need. The rest of this is unnecessary for a residential situation. But yeah, that's the camera itself. All right, moving on. All right, now that we've talked price and specs, let's talk about how you can view your cameras on a wired NVR system like this one. Again, these cameras are meant to be used with an Alibi NVR. So the NVR itself has an HDMI port and a VGA port. Now I recommend using HDMI, but with that, you can use any TV or monitor that has an HDMI port. And so you can see your cameras on a nice big screen, you got full access to your playback and all of your settings there. You can also use a plug-in for the latest versions of Windows and Safari to see them that way. And then you've also got the Alibi Vigilant mobile app, so you can see your cameras on your smartphone or tablet. Now, a lot of people like to view it that way, so let's talk about that for a minute. You're just going to sign up for a free account with Alibi. They use what's called a peer-to-peer connection, which is the most secure way to see your cameras on a phone or tablet. That's another benefit to a professional-grade system like this, just all about privacy. You can see live or playback, and when we're talking playback, you've got full access to your hard drive. So depending on what configuration you get, on average, you're going to be able to go back about 4 to 6 weeks. So you'll have full access to that on your phone. You'll be able to go back 4 to 6 weeks. Now you can take still pictures and video clips. So if you're sitting on the beach in the Bahamas and unfortunately something goes down at home, you'll be able to email a clip or just text a clip to the police right from wherever you're sitting, as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection or cellular connection. But pretty much you can see your system from anywhere in the world, and again, both on a phone and tablet. Now, I'm a big fan of the Alibi Vigilant mobile app. They keep it nice and simple for the beginners, but they've also got enough settings in there for the advanced people, so it's a little bit for everybody, and I love that. While we're talking about the Alibi app, let's just do a little deeper dive. All right, so here we go. Let's go to 4 images. Got our 4 images there. Let's click on one of these cameras we're talking about. All right, so there we go. You can see the image right below it. You can do a snapshot, record. So a snapshot is a still picture, record is a video clip. Hit it once, it'll start recording. Hit it again, it'll stop. You can determine how many images are on the screen. We're back to 1, but you could also get all 4 cameras back up. Quality, you've got low, medium, high. High would be your HD. You can press your two-way audio. And down below, you have your device configuration, which is your settings. You can control the image settings. If this was a pan, tilt, zoom camera, you could control it there. Alarm outputs are a little more advanced, and then you can close all. But let's go into device configuration. That's where your main settings are for the camera. So you can allow alarm notifications. You can do a snapshot if you want. So every time it would see a person or a vehicle, if I turn that on, I would get alerted. If you go to the image settings, this is where you can control your smart illumination. You've got the white light, which is the Illuminite. You can do infrared or you can do both. Now, if you do both, and this is very important, it'll stay black and white at night until it has an event, which is like a person or vehicles. Then it will switch to that white light. Some people worry about the white lights on these cameras being too bright for their neighbors or whatever. So the dual light is a perfect way to get around that. So it'll be black and white when there's nothing going on. It'll turn on the white light when it sees something. So that's where you can control your illumination. You go to audio, you can do your volume control. You can change the device name, basically the camera name right there. General detection, this is where your motion detection is. This is where you have full control over that. So the ultra mode is a little more advanced. You can do a detection area if you want. You can control your sensitivity. You can snapshot an object, which is motor vehicle, non-motor vehicle, or pedestrian. So basically you're selecting there what you want it to alert you for and what you want it to record. You can turn on the alarm sound, and these are active deterrent cameras. So it does have a flashing light, and it also has an alarm sound. What's cool about the alarm sound is you can go down here to select alarm sound, and you can have these preset messages. You are in the alert area, which is if you listen to my alarm test, you heard it say that. You can also say you are in danger zone, do not approach, please be aware. You got several different options here, and that's pretty cool. So that's where you can change that. And again, that'll be a predetermined message to scare an intruder in your yard. You can also control your flashing light. And so that is a blue and red strobe that would also activate when it sees a person in your yard or an intruder. So that's all under motion detection, which again was under general detection. If you go to VCA detection, then you can do intrusion areas, line crossing, whether or not a person is entering the area, and also if a person is leaving the area. So just some more advanced analytics there. Then you can customize your alarm sound, and you can control your storage. So you can do your recording schedule, what type of recording, all or motion detection, your recording times. You can do Monday, Tuesday, all the days of the week there. And then you can save it. So again, that was under device configuration. I can also go full screen, and you have the options there. So on the right, you've got your still picture, your video clip, your resolution, your two-way audio. On the left, you can go straight to your events there on the bottom. You got your alarm inputs, how many cameras are on the screen. You've got your settings up at the top right, your audio. If you look at the top right there, you can also create a favorite view. And here's playback at the bottom. You can also do that with your settings indicator on the top left. So that's another way to get to playback. You've got live view, playback, devices, just shows you your NVR. Picture and video, if you do take a still picture or a video clip, that's where they're stored. And then you can save them to your camera roll. If you go to favorites, that'll just show you the predetermined views that you like. Alarm notifications is where you can control your notifications. Device configuration is another way to get to those settings we were already in. But let's just go back to playback. All right, so you got your scroll at the bottom. You can control your date there. You got your calendar. You can go back months, whatever it is. The configuration that I like, you usually get about 4 to 6 weeks of recording on this system. But once again, in playback, you can take a snapshot. You can record a clip, control how many images are on the screen, your resolution. You can also control how fast your playback is. All right, let's a little deeper dive into the Alibi Vigilant mobile app. Now let's talk about installation real quick. Now I know that this is professional grade and you got to go through a dealer to get it. And normally if you were local, I'd install this for you. Just to give you a quick heads up, I think the first week of August 2022, we took my go-to system. We went and installed it at a friend's house. Now, even though that's a little bit of an older system now, first of all, that system is fantastic. It's still very relevant today. This is just a little update to it. But that installation video could help you a lot. So I'll put a link to that video here. Check that out. But we just kind of talk to you about tips on where to put the cameras, the actual installation itself, how to put the connectors on. My boy John, who works for me, shows you how to do that. So it's just a very informative video. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing this yourself, just get an electrician to do it. This is Electrician 101. It's running Cat 5e or Cat 6 cable from point A to point B. They can do that in their sleep. We've shipped these to all 50 states and into Canada. People have got electricians to do it with great success. Now, if they need any help or want any assistance in mapping out your system, I'd be happy to help with that. But again, you can either do this yourself or get an electrician to do it for you. All right, real quick, I mentioned that I wanted to talk about this. I've talked about it in other videos, but why do I pick Alibi Security? Why are they my go-to brand? Now, I've got every brand known to man contacting me, not only for my business since 2008, but now that I'm on YouTube, forget about it. Everybody wants me to use their stuff. And that's great and all, and I do try it because I always want to know what's out there, but I always go back to Alibi. And the number one reason is the people. I do not work for them, but I have been affiliated with them and their dealer since 2008. They helped me get SilverHammer Surveillance off the ground. They took a chance on me when nobody else could. And man, there's some loyalty there for that. I've got a rep, Billy. I love you, Billy. He's not just a rep, he's a friend. I mean, these people, I know they're taking care of me and in turn are going to take care of my customers. That's priceless. They're all in Austin, Texas. They've got that Texas badass personality, all of them. And I love that. So not only that, but they've got a 1% fail rate. Some of these brands I talk about on the channel, I guarantee you, it is not 1%. We're talking, one of the big brands out there has a 16% fail rate. One of the most popular brands in the camera world, 16% fail rate. Alibi has a 1% fail rate. So I've staken my business reputation on this stuff. I'm staking my YouTube reputation on this stuff. I want it to work. I'm not there locally to help you because we've shipped these to all 50 states now and into Canada. It's very important to me that this stuff just works, so I don't have to worry about you having service. Now, if for some reason you have a technical question, because you shouldn't need service because these things are pretty reliable, you do get free lifetime tech support from Alibi, people that are sitting there in Austin, Texas, a trained tech support team. Some of them have been there a long time, and I know they're going to take care of you, and that gives me great peace of mind, because some of these other brands I could sell you, you're not going to get somebody on the phone to help you. You're not going to get somebody on the phone for warranty support. And so it's just priceless that they have lifetime tech support. This stuff has a 3-year warranty, and Alibi will help you out with that if you do have any problems. But with that 1% fail rate, you shouldn't have a problem. But they're just a great company. They started out as a company called Super Circuits in 1989. They've been around for a long time. They have a beautiful facility. I've been down there and checked it out. It's just a beautiful place. They really know what they're doing, and they're just great people. So that's why my go-to brand is Alibi Security. All right, that's it. Now, I love this camera. I've been trying it out for a few weeks now. It's fantastic. It just blows me away that we've got all these features packed into one camera, whereas I loved all those previous cameras, but now we got it all in one. Now, I've got the model number here in the description of the video and on the screen, but you're not going to find much about it online, and that's because it's dealer exclusive. Alibi is just trying to protect their dealers and support local businesses, which businesses like myself appreciate very much, but I know it sucks because a lot of you want to research stuff and you just can't do it because it's not available to the general public. That's why I'm making this video. Let me know what you think. What do you think about wired NVR versus Wi-Fi? You see me do a lot of Wi-Fi videos, but I'm telling you, wired NVR is the way to go. It's the most reliable. You own the system, no monthly fees. Have you tried Alibi? Are you one of our previous customers, or have you bought it from another dealer? I'd love to know that as well. I'd love to hear those stories. Let me know in the comments. All right, till the next video. Peace and love.